So to start this job, I'm going to take out the driver's seat first. To do that, technically you need an inverted Torx socket, actually two different ones to do this, because it has two E20 nuts on the front, and then in the back it has two E16 nuts. However, if you don't have an inverted Torx socket, which looks like this is an E16, you can use a regular 6-point socket, and instead of an E20, you can use a 15 millimeter, and in the back you'll use a smaller size. But what that's going to do is it's going to actually fit over this nut and it'll take it off for you. Okay, take that off. And now in order to actually get to the rear bolts, you have to move the seat forward. You want to go all the way forward. One of them is right here. The other one is right underneath this cover. So I'll go ahead and move this cover aside, pop it out of here, and this is where you find two E16 bolts. All right, so take them both out. Set these aside. Now I'm going to move the seat backwards so that it's centered on its rails, right about there. See how it's flush with the rail here, flush with the rail here. That way the center of gravity is in the middle of the rails and it's not going to want to tip over. And at this point, you can just push the seat back like that. Not too far though, because there are electrical connectors down here that need to be disconnected. And if you look right here, there's one main harness that if you unplug, everything should be good. There's no airbag on this seat, so you don't have to worry about that. And at this point, you can come in, grab the seat, tilt it towards you, and pull it right out of the truck. With a T15, remove all these little screws that hold this plastic panel on. And remove the panel. If you look on the back side, it's got two connectors. Go ahead and disconnect them both. And this one, you lift a little flap that locks it in. To make things easier, I'm also going to remove this piece. For this, you can just pull out on it. And then pull it down and out of the way. There you go. It just has to clear this area right here. Next, I'm going to remove these two 13 millimeter nuts. That's going to release this bottom seat cushion. You're going to have to undo these two connectors, press on the tab, and then pull this away. Sometimes it's easier if you just unhook it and then do that. Do the same to this one. And there's going to be a little bit more wiring, but I'll pull the cushion up and out first. So pull up and away. There's another harness down here that you have to disconnect. There are two more wires to be disconnected right here. This you have to just lift on one end and then pull it out. Then there's a green connector right here, same as this black one that I just disconnected. And all that's left is this connector here. So I'll pull the locking tab out of there, press down and disconnect it. And I think at this point, this can slide up and out. Okay, looks like the main harness is attached there. You can either unclip it from the seat or from the frame, which is what I'm gonna do. That'll give me a little more slack. There we go. So to get the cushion off at this point, I have to peel back the leather that wraps the cushion. So remove all these pieces. And now, if you go around, you can peel back the rest of it. Now take the cushion off of the seat. So here's the new seat cushion. It does not come with a heated seat pad, so it's gonna have to be removed from the old one and transferred over. It is glued here on the edges, but you can be very gentle and just unstick it and just rip it right up. set it down on the new seat, make sure that it does not cover all the areas where the leather is supposed to stick. And now, of course, this glue isn't going to stick anymore. If you wanted to put some adhesive down, you can. I'm just going to leave it like this because the other layer of the seat is going to just hold it in place. So make sure it's positioned properly on the seat bottom frame. And now just go ahead and wrap the leather material around. It'd be easier if I flip it over. This plastic piece has a lip here. Make sure that the lip goes over the metal frame. And now that everything is installed, let's bring this wiring back to where it was. I'm going to start here with the seat heater, and then this, and that. Don't forget to reattach this main harness here onto the frame, and of course this little 2-wire connector that comes underneath. Insert the lock to lock it in. And before I connect these 2 top main connectors here, I'm going to line up the 2 pins that line up the seat cushion on the bottom. They slide into 2 holes on the frame. And once you've pressed those down, your top studs should line up. Perfect. Start on the 2 nuts. Connect these 2 main connectors and secure them in. And go ahead and snug up these 2 nuts. All right, let's get the seat back in the car. Go ahead and line up the seat to where it's supposed to go. And before you line up the studs and the bolt holes, which, well, I guess it just fell into place, tilt the seat back and let's connect the main harness. Make sure it clicks in. You want to make sure you line up these studs as well as the mounting holes in the back. Press the seat down. With everything fitted properly, I'm going to go ahead and put these back. It's easier if you lift up this cushion, then this piece slides right in. And that's why I put the seat in the car first, so I can use the switch. And speaking of the switch, go ahead and connect it with both connectors. Slide it into place and go ahead and start in all your screws. All right, now you can put the seat cushion back down. And let's bolt in the seat. I'm going to start with the 2 rear bolts. Put these through, snug them up. And now torque these to 66 foot-pounds. All right, let's do the 2 fronts. And torque these both to 44 foot-pounds. And of course, don't forget your cover. That covers this bolt here.